Fun, entertaining baseball was back as the St. Louis Cardinals shocked the world and take down the Dodgers in LA. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Follow me on X at JD Sports Radio and the podcast Twitter handle or X handle at LO_Cardinals. You got us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. This is a show that serves Cardinal Nation and gives the best fans in baseball all of the info about the birds on the bat. This episode brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. Go to 5hourenergy.com today and use my promo code Locked On Golf to receive 20% off your order, only valid through September 30th. Order transfusion-flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. So on today's episode, we have a conclusion to the Luken Baker era in St. Louis, as well as a new left-handed reliever to talk about that they claimed off of waivers from the Marlins. But let's get into the game from last night because this was fun. This was one of the more fun games to watch this year. And, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot to cheer about recently, right? I mean, let's be honest. It's been a bit depressing. It's been annoying. It sucks that the Cardinals are where they are. Big letdown in the month of July, which essentially knocked them out of contention for a wild card spot. They sell at the trade deadline. Everything is going down the crapper, right? And then they go to San Diego. They lose 2 of 3 to the Padres. Now you got the Dodgers staring at you, and the Dodgers obviously are a very good team, just like San Diego is. And you were just hoping that maybe the idea of being at Dodger Stadium and taking on Shohei Ohtani and the boys maybe would lift the spirits of the Cardinals and they could play up to their competition. And that's kind of what happened in this one. And it all started with Sonny Gray. The struggles have been well documented the last, 3 games coming into this one. He's been terrible. ERA 11.48. He's given up 5 home runs, 13 and a third innings, 30 hits. What? 19 runs, 17 of them earned. I mean, he's been awful. I mean, these are the numbers you expect from, no offense, but Miles Michaelis or Eric Fetty. This is not supposed to be Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is not supposed to get hit like this. Summer heat taking its toll on him. Sweaty hands, lack of command, all of it has led to the Cardinals' number 1 guy to being everything but a number 1 guy. And it's one of the reasons that this team decided to sell at the deadline. They come out of that break playing well, Sonny Gray pitching well. Maybe things are a little bit different. Maybe they don't sell off these guys, but that's okay. I still kind of wanted them to, just because they need to start moving forward to what they're going to be, not keep wallowing here and thinking that this group, the way they are this year, was going to do anything in the playoffs. So even if this team hadn't made any moves to add to the current roster, they weren't going to be significant moves anyway. They would have been your normal low-hanging fruit. Garbage guys at the front office would pray to the baseball gods, please make him good for 2 more months. But for the first time since this game, like in Cleveland, back at the end of June 27th, Sonny Gray, he looked like himself again. He looked like the Sonny Gray that we expect to see. He looked dominant, and he did it against one of the best lineups in all of baseball. He came out humming on Monday night, strikes out Shohei Ohtani in the first inning, which was obviously kind of setting the tone to what was to come. He gets Mookie Betts to fly out. Freddie Freeman strikes out. So solid first inning. I mean, that's 5 MVP trophies between those 3 guys. So very nice start to the game for Sonny, and he never relented after that. He looked energized. He looked like he had some juice to him, which, again, the heat in St. Louis, I mean, we all know just walking around town how disgusting and awful it is and how it can beat you down. Imagine having to go out there and play a sport in that weather. And, Sonny's not a big guy. He's a little dude. So I can see how that would have been an issue. Ends up giving up that home run to Freeman in the 4th inning, but it wasn't even really a bad pitch. It's a cutter low and in. Probably wished he had gotten it inside a little more on Freddie, but didn't happen. Freeman, obviously a great hitter, future Hall of Famer, obliterated it for a solo home run. But that was it, man. Sonny fires 7 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, 8 Ks, and he does it on 90 pitches. He was absolutely brilliant, carving his way through the lineup. He was in rhythm. He was crisp. It was really a lot of fun to watch if you like good pitching. The sweeper certainly stood out. That was on point. Had guys fishing all night long, fooling them. Gray faced 23 batters. Only 5 of them got the ball out of the infield. And we're talking about the Dodgers here. We're talking about the Dodgers, who have all of that talent. Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, Will Smith, who leads the NL in hitting. Max Muncy was back. Teoscar Hernandez and Andy Pajes. Like they just got a stacked lineup. These are the defending champs. They know how to win. And for Sonny to go out and shove the way he did, it was awesome to see. The only sad part about what transpired last night for Sonny Gray was the fact that as good as he was, he didn't factor into the decision because on the other side, the Dodgers had Tyler Glasnow, who is healthy and back in their rotation. And he was almost as good as Sonny Gray. Glasnow ends up going 7 innings in this one. He allows only 3 hits, 1 run. He strikes out 7. Offensively, the Cardinals were able to get on the board on a no-doubt home run by Masyn Winn in that 2nd inning, which was great to see. His 8th of the year, the only hit of the night for Masyn Winn, but he was 1 for 3 and is hitting .350 since the All-Star break and has raised his overall average up to .270, which is more, it was what, maybe a week and a half ago that I was kind of like, we're not really seeing much progression out of Masyn Winn as a hitter so far this year. Everything's kind of the same. Well, right now, he looks pretty darn good at the plate and is on a little bit of a heater right now, and I hope it continues because this is one of the guys that needs to be the dude. Ivan Herrera goes yard in this one in the 8th inning to give the Cardinals a brief 2-1 lead. It was his 10th home run of the season, another no-doubter, 109.4 off the bat, 428 feet away. He smoked that ball. He was the only Cardinal who had multiple hits in this particular game and is now 7 for his last 11 at the plate after going through a little bit of a cold spell. I wouldn't say it was a slump. I mean, 3 games without a hit. I don't call them slumps. It's just kind of like, hey, it's a little bump in the road. But he's back at it again. He's got his average on the season up to 310. So good to see Ivan raking once again. But the Dodgers would get one off Riley O'Brien in that 8th inning after a leadoff double by Teoscar Hernandez. And the Dodgers, they did it like small ball way to get the run in. They get a couple ground balls, which moves Hernandez over and in. Riley O'Brien, I tell you, I see why he's so tantalizing. He's got some of the easiest 99 miles per hour coming out of that arm of his. Like, it doesn't look like he even has to put forth a whole lot of effort. He's not one of these guys that's like, and rocking and firing and you're looking all jerky or anything out there. Like, it seems to come out of his hand just so nicely. And you look at, you're like 99 mile an hour sinker. That's some wicked stuff right there. Really just needs to work on locating properly. I can see why they love the upside. He hung the breaking ball to Teoscar, who hit the double. If there's something else that, you would like to see more, a little more swing and miss, right? Needs to improve the chase rates and the whiff percentage, because when you've got a guy who throws that hard, he's got that much movement. It's shocking to me how the percentages for the whiff and the chase, how they're not higher than they are. If you go to Baseball Savant, they're very low. So it's strange to me that it doesn't match up with what the stuff is that he's got compared to what the numbers are. So I'm not sure how you teach that and how you get it better, but somehow if he can improve that stuff, he could be a real weapon for the Cardinals. And obviously he's got to stay healthy. That's been a real issue for him as well since donning the Cardinal uniform. But you can say that for everybody. You just got to keep these guys healthy. But Riley O'Brien is somebody that, I hope he stays healthy. We get to see a lot of them over the last couple of weeks here of the season. And that takes us to the 9th inning where things really got exciting and really got tense as well. But, it's what made this game so much fun to watch. So we're going to break it all down for you coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about the baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even that much more exciting. You know, you're already following the action. Why not make it better? Make it more thrilling. Why settle? Why would you settle? Like, make it more fun for yourself. And with FanDuel, you can do that. Get in on the game while your friends are out doing whatever they're doing these days. You focus on the sporting events that excite you, and you have fun with it. And I've been having fun with FanDuel for many, many years now, able to track my favorite matchups. The app is great because it keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. So it never feels like you're just doing the same thing over and over and going through the motions. Very easy to use app. They're fast to pay out when you win, and it makes the regular season games like these games against the Dodgers, they make it feel like must-watch events. So whether you're placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right into the ninth, FanDuel will make it feel like you're a part of the action. And if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So open up the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/locked-on to get started. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leave your comments on YouTube as well as X and TikTok anytime you want. Feedback always welcome and encouraged. Love hearing from you guys. Loved having everybody up late last night watching this one with me. I appreciate that. I kind of threw out a tweet and was just like, anybody up watching this? Because I could understand if people aren't. They're like, they've already closed the book on the Cardinals this year. I can understand that. But there was a lot of people up last night having some fun, and I hope you guys are all up with me again tonight. But ninth inning is where things got really, really exciting. You know, you had a pitcher's duel for the first 8 innings, and then you get to the ninth inning where it's like, you know, anything can happen. Here we go. Cardinals get off to a good start against one of the newest Dodgers relievers, and Brock Stewart, who came over from the Twins, who completely blew up their major league roster. It was 40% of their active roster got traded. I mean, talk about a fire sale. Can you imagine? Would you have wanted that if you were the Cardinals? Would you want that kind of a blow up to happen? I find that hard to believe, but the Twins did it. So one of the guys that wasn't traded wanted to stay in St. Louis. Wilson Contreras starts it off with a soft single to right field, a chip carry special with that 69-mile-an-hour exit velocity off the bat. They bring in Garrett Hampson to run for Willie, and I saw online people wondering, like, the hell is Garrett Hampson still doing on this roster? What is he doing here? I honestly forget that he actually is a St. Louis Cardinal until he comes out. And I was like, I pointed that out. So I was like, oh, we got a Garrett Hampson sighting. And I think what's cool about Hampson I shouldn't say cool. That's not a great word for this, but I understand why he's on the roster, because he doesn't need at-bats or playing time. He's perfectly fine waiting for a chance to contribute and pinch run and defensive replacement. That's his role. That's what he can do. You're not going to bring up a prospect that you want to see play more, ride the pine, and that wouldn't do him much good. So you let them stay down at Memphis and play more. Where Hampson, again, you can forget he's on the roster, and then you're like, wait a second. Hey, Garrett, we need somebody who's faster than Wilson Contreras to run. And it worked out. So we don't need to see him starting ever. But he's a guy who serves a purpose as a bench guy, and he certainly paid off here because Lars Nootbaar rips a single, and because of Hampson's good speed, he's able to get over to third base on that, scoots over to third, so you got first and third. You got nobody out. Cardinals are primed to take a lead in a situation like this, and you got the right guy up. You've got Masyn Winn coming to the plate. He is the man, right? Face of the franchise, in my opinion. I wanted so badly to see a big moment for Masyn Winn here. Drive one into the gap, deep fly ball, do something productive, and really put your stamp on this game because you had the home run earlier, and instead he pops out to first base. And I'm like, dude, just very anticlimactic. Your best guys have to be your best guys in those situations, and in this spot, he doesn't get it done. Not saying Brock Stewart's the easiest pitcher to hit off of, because he's not. But at the same time, I was really hoping for a big moment there. you need these big moments to continue the progression of your young players to becoming stars for this team in the future. And it was unfortunate to see him not come through there. Then you got rookie Thomas Ajayi. He comes up, another guy that you want to see take more steps towards becoming more than he is right now, to take advantage of this extra playing time that he's going to be receiving. He can come up in a big moment and come through, and that would have been nice, but he strikes out, completely overmatched in that at-bat. And now you go from feeling extremely excited and confident about, it looks like we're going to push one across here, to, now we're in trouble. Here we go again. They're going to strand these dudes, aren't they? First and third, nobody out. We are effed. We are not going to score this our way. Why wouldn't you feel that way? That's how a lot of these games have come down for the Cardinals. Like they can't find the big hit. But Ollie has found something in the last month or so where he's got a weapon off the bench for whatever reason that has worked consistently. And his name is Yohel Pozo. Now, Yohel Pozo, sadly, they don't have a picture of him from last night's game. I was a little off for that. 5 for 11 coming into this at bat, with 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter on the season. 5 of those hits, or 3 of those 5 hits for extra bases, 2 doubles and a home run. And he makes perfect sense to be a good bench bat. He doesn't strike out much, usually puts it in play. And he has found success in this role. Has been a pinch hitting extraordinaire, if you don't mind me saying. And Yohel Pozo delivers again. Comes up in this situation, singles to right field, drives in the go-ahead run when everything looks like it's going to come crumbling down and the Cardinals aren't going to get the run and we're all going to get mad and we're going to start whining online and bitching and moaning. I'm with you there. I do it too. I'm not making fun of the people who are, and I'm not complaining about the people who complain. I get it. As a fan, you're like, please, for the love of God, just come through. And Yohel Pozo does it again. Now 6 for 12 as a pinch hitter with 7 ribbies. Some guys just have it in their DNA to be able to come through in big situations. And Yohel Pozo has proven that he can do that more as a pinch hitter than he does it as an everyday player. But he's, for whatever reason, he's been clutch as a pinch hitter for this club on multiple occasions now. And it's quite a story, from him being homeless during the COVID pandemic to now playing against the greatest baseball player in the world in Shohei Ohtani and driving in go-ahead runs. It's been quite a ride for Pozo, who's become a fan favorite because he's got that great smile. He's got energy. He's got enthusiasm for the game, because he's been down in the trenches and he's been, like I mentioned, homeless for a bit there during the COVID pandemic because the minor league season got wiped out. Didn't know what he was going to do. Has been in the minors so long. And now he's up in moments like this against the Dodgers, against Shohei Ohtani, and he's coming through. And it's just really cool to see. I just enjoy Pozo being on this team. I don't know what his future is with this team because the Cardinals got 1 million catchers coming up. But it was a great moment, that's for sure. But these are the Dodgers, and now you got to finish them off, which is never an easy task. They have been that team that just consistently comes back and beats teams. So Ollie turns to JoJo in the 9th inning. He's been arguably the best reliever in the bullpen this year. I know Maton was really, really good, and you had Helsley. JoJo's numbers are phenomenal this season. So he's kind of become the closer on this team right now. And it's no easy task because he's got the top of the order. So he starts with Ohtani, first pitch single off the bat. And again, this is what the Dodgers have done all season long. They lead the league in comeback victories. But then you get arguably the play of the game. Like, it's up in the air whether it was the Pozo hit or this catch from Lars Nootbaar, robbing Mookie Betts of a blue pit with this insane diving catch along the line in right field. I never thought he was going to get to it. Like, Lars Nootbaar runs okay. Like, he's not Victor Scott out there. My dude was hauling balls coming towards the line, and he was flying. He was not going to let that ball drop. Insane catch. If you haven't seen it yet, you've got to go check it out. If that ball drops, no doubt that that's going to scoot by him. Ohtani's going to score. Dodgers, Mookie probably ends up on third base, and the Dodgers are going to win this game. An incredible catch by Lars Nootbaar, one of my favorite plays all year. And, it puts a little fire back into this game. And JoJo then whiffs Freeman, battles with Will Smith, who eventually walks to get to another left-hander, a Max Muncy, who hit the ball well, but lines out to right field, right at Lars Nootbaar, ends the game, final score 3-2. And I know the win on Saturday against San Diego was good, but this game was fun as hell to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I mean, pitcher's duel, Glass now against Sonny Gray. You saw a few home runs. You saw some solid defensive plays. You saw clutch hitting, drama in the ninth inning, in the late innings, because 8th and 9th innings were awesome. It just had it all. And a game like this, it's one of the reasons why I love the game of baseball. I had so much fun watching it. Even if the Cardinals had lost this game, I'd be like, dude, that was a lot of fun to watch, though, right? It had it all. And it got the Cardinals back to 500. They're at 57-57. Now, I'm not going to get overly excited and say, hey, here we go. We're going to start a streak here. I'm not thinking that. But it's fun to win. They've also now beat the Dodgers in 3 or 4 games, which is no easy task. It was cool to see Sonny Gray looking like himself again, looking in command, looking healthy. You ever notice Sonny does not look healthy out there on the mound? He just always looks like he's dying in the heat in St. Louis and pretty much anywhere he's played. He just always looks like he's wiped out because of the toll that the heat has taken on him. He didn't look like that at all. He looked like he was in full control. I don't know if he drank a whole bunch of hydration stuff before the game or what, but whatever you did, Sonny, the long sleep, whatever worked for you, do it again. Do it again, because that was cool to see. You saw the power from Winn and Herrera. Who I want to, what do you guys think about this, by the way? For Ivan Herrera, El Martillo as the nickname. El Martillo means the hammer in Spanish. I don't know if he's got a nickname. I haven't seen that he has a nickname anywhere, but the hammer Herrera, I don't know, had a nice ring to it. Go Spanish with it. I think it sounds cool. Let me know if you guys think it's cool. I think it's Martillo is how they say it. I don't think it's Martillo. I think that's a bad way to pronounce it. But either way, El Martillo. I think it sounds cool. Let me know. Clutch hit from Pozo. Obviously, the unlikely hero. Insane catch by Newt. Finishing touch by JoJo. Chef's kiss. Beautiful game, guys. Good stuff, boys. Good stuff. Love it. Up next, we're going to discuss the moves that were made on Monday. The Luken Baker era for St. Louis Cardinals baseball is over. He got claimed off waivers, and the Cardinals add a sorely needed left-handed relief pitcher to their 40-man roster. We'll talk about it next on Locked On Cardinals. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink without the alcohol, and it puts it into a quick, energizing shot. So whether you're out on the course sinking birdies, if you're good enough to sink birdies, more like bogeys for me, or just trying to find my golf ball normally. I have a wicked slice, by the way. But this is going to be a hole-in-one for your energy game if your golf game is suffering like mine. I did recently play in a tournament, was out with some friends. We had a blast, but 18 holes is a long day at the golf course. I mean, and especially in the summer heat that we've got in St. Louis. So getting a 5-Hour Energy Transfusion, it's the perfect complement to whatever else you're doing out there on the golf course. I love them. I think they're delicious. It'll give you that extra boost to stay sharp and energized both on the course and off of it, like in everyday life. Before I hit a podcast, pop a transfusion, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion before going to the gym. It's awesome. And then what else is great about it is that, in small doses, that way you don't have to go to the bathroom after drinking a whole can of something. So if you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use our promo code, which is Locked On Golf, to receive 20% off your first order. The offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions, and is not good on subscription orders. Whatever you're getting into, I'm telling you, this energizing boost you need, it's available. It's going to help power you through. Make sure you get some. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen. If your second listen, check out Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I was on there having a good time with my buddy John Frisch from Locked On Angels, talking about a Cardinals win. We haven't had a chance to do that all that often recently, so it was fun to smile a little bit more on the show. So the idea of Luken Baker was, in my opinion, a good one. Second round pick, 2018, crushed the ball throughout his minor league career. But like I said, second round pick, 2018, 75th overall out of TCU. I know it's easy to do, by the way. So I went back and I'm like, I'm always curious, like, who are some of the picks that were like right around when you have a player that doesn't pan out? And I do it in all sports, like NFL, NBA, MLB, obviously. So Luken Baker, 75th overall, second rounder. In the next round, 15 picks later, Seattle Mariners took a guy by the name of Cal Raleigh. You might have heard of him. Gold and platinum glove winner, league leader in home runs right now. Oh, missed on that one. Switch hitter. Now, one of Luken's biggest issues was the lack of flexibility for this Cardinals roster. He can't play anywhere except first base and DH. And after he put up those big power numbers in the minors over the last few seasons, highlighted by that ridiculous 2023 season when he hit 334 with 33 home runs and 98 RBIs in 84 games at AAA. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Like, he was on pace for like 60 bombs and 170 RBIs, just nuts. That was 2023. So you remember the Cardinals sucked that year. So we were, at least I was, hollering to bring him up. Can we not just see what he can do? Maybe you found something here. You know, most people believe that, you know, he was more of like a 4A type of player that was too good for AAA, but not good enough for major leagues. But if you don't see him play at the major leagues, how do we know? We found out. Unfortunately, the numbers never translated to the major league club. Hit just 209 and 99 plate appearances, 2 home runs, 31 strikeouts. In 23 and 24, he had 32 home runs again at Memphis. Cardinals bring him up. Hits 175, 2 home runs again, 11 strikeouts and 49 plate appearances. This year, he was hitting just 196 at Memphis with 10 home runs in 62 games. Cardinals had him up for a bit this year, 41 plate appearances, no home runs, struck out 10 times. It was over. He wasn't going to get another shot with this team. So, you know, you can argue that maybe he didn't get a fair shake at the big league level with the Cardinals. That's certainly debatable. But remember 23, you still had Paul Goldschmidt. And then when he moves on, you got Wilson Contreras there, and you've got the emergence of Alec Burleson, who certainly deserves to play, whether it's in the outfield, first base, DH, wherever you can put his bat. There just wasn't room for him except at DH, really. And you've got Ivan Herrera there now. And you know, when Luken got his chances, he didn't take advantage of them. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So he is off to the Dodgers. Cardinals have plenty of room on their 40-man roster, so they didn't really have to run him through waivers. And he made it all the way to the Dodgers, so all the other teams didn't claim him either. But they decided to, took him in, sent him to their AAA team in Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, the Cardinals were able to grab a relief pitcher off of the Marlins. And they ended up claiming 27-year-old left-hander Anthony Veneziano, who spent time with Kansas City, was his original team, and then the Marlins. 10th round pick in 2019 by Kansas City. MLB trade rumors had this to say about him. Veneziano is a 6'5 lefty who has made 38 MLB appearances over the past 3 years. Combined 3.93 ERA through 36 and 2/3 innings, striking out 20.6% of opponents against an 8.8% walk rate. He leans mostly on a mid-80s slider while averaging around 94 on his fastball, has managed serviceable big league production, but has given up 8 runs with an underwhelming 12-9 strikeout to walk ratio in 12 AAA appearances this year. I'm sure the Cardinals are hoping that a change of scenery will do some good for Anthony Veneziano. And the Cardinals have an issue anyway of their own, that they only got one left-handed reliever left in their bullpen, and that's Jojo Romero. And you're not going to, throw him until his arm falls off. You move Matz, and you lost John. That was the big thing. It wasn't the Matz trade. It was losing John King right there, too, to the oblique injury, which wiped out the other two remaining left-handers, the options that they have. They don't have anything at AAA to bring up. It's a real issue. So they had to find somebody, and I hope they pluck a couple guys off of the waiver wire from people around the league. And why not? See if you can find one of these guys maybe one of them clicks and you can hit on it and use them moving forward. But yeah, you need somebody to help JoJo. Even though you got a lot of right-handers you still want to see throw in the bullpen, you don't want to take too much away from them. But at the same time, you need at least one more, right? Tonight's matchup in LA, you got Michaelis against Emmett Sheehan. Miles hasn't faced the Dodgers yet this season. He's coming off two solid outings against the Padres and the Marlins, so two teams that have been playing very well in those two games. 11 innings, 2 runs, 12 hits, the ERA at 1.64. Sheehan had just 4 starts so far this year, hasn't made it past 5 innings in any of them. Hopefully the Cardinals can ride the momentum from a fun win on Monday night into tonight's matchup. Really looking forward to watching it again tonight, and I invite all of you to come hang out with us. We'll be up late doing it, so come join us. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio, TikTok and Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. Like, subscribe on YouTube. You guys are still the best fans in baseball for a reason. I'll see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.